Good afternoon. Just sitting in a chair and just reflecting on the love and the mercies of the Almighty. How powerful my God is. How merciful my God is. How awesome He is. I'm just sitting here looking at the waters and just thinking about how He brought me through. How He worked things out. Welcome to Nuggets for Wisdom, LLC, with yours truly, Lady C. Just thinking about where He brought me from. How He did it. How He came through. How He touched the hearts of men. How He turned my mind around. How He turned my heart around. How He turned my health around. Just thinking about His love. How He loved me through my mess, through my mistakes, through my failures, through my bloopers, through me being stubborn, through me rebelling. He loved me when I was rejecting Him. Mighty God. Just looking over it and thinking, wow. And the question that comes to mind is, can I love humans through all of their failures, all of their mistakes, the way that God loved me through mine? Can I love like Him? Can I forgive like Him? Can I accept humans the way that He do? Can I see people the way that He see them? Even in their rebellion and in their wrong, He still see the soul. God's love is like mind-boggling. It's like, how do we do it? And the thing about this is, when we sincerely repent and ask for forgiveness, He actually forgives us. And He throws it in the sea not to remember. But we still remember it. But God don't. That's how much He loves us. And I just thinking, do I exemplify that type of love? Do you show that type of love? It's just something to think about. How loving He is. And oftentimes we want persons to love us unconditionally. Accept all of our flaws and our failures. But are we willing to love other persons through theirs? We want to be accepted. We want to be loved. We don't want to be judged. But do we extend the same thing to others? That's the question. We want it, but do we give it? And I can't remember who it is that told me that oftentimes we want certain things, but in order to really attract that to our lives, we got to become it. You cannot just get it because you want it. You have to become it so that the spirit can be attracted to you and it would stay. Because you could go there and get things, but then at the end of the day, it won't stay. You won't be able to maintain it. They were explaining that to me, that you got to make the changes. You got to become. Like the Word of God says, when you want a friend, you got to first show yourself friendly. So when you want to receive love, you have to be able to give love. Because many of us say that we want love, but we don't really know how to give it. And then there are some of us who know how to give it, but we don't know how to receive it. It is just like, oh my God. Like, when are we going to get it right? When are we going to get it right? When are we going to be able to give it and to receive it? When are we going to be balanced? As we just think about the love of God, it's just so much things to just ponder on. It's so much things to think about. So much different areas to think about. And to see how intentional God is. To see how merciful He is. Because even in our wrong state, He is still God. And He is still that loving, that forgiving God. Even though sometimes He have to tune us up and be stern with us, He is still doing it in love. It's just like, wow. Wow, wow, wow. I have a question. Do we deal with our children like that? We're made in His image and in His likeness. But do we deal with our children like that? Do we deal with our spouse in that manner? Just go down the list. Do we deal with people like that? But I'm sure that we want to receive it. We always want to be on the receiving end. Always, when it's something good. But are we willing to give what it is that we want to receive? Are we willing to make the changes to give that which we want to receive in our lives? Are we willing to really be honest with ourselves and tap in and make those changes so that we can prepare, so that we can be prepared to receive? Or are we still stuck on what we think and how we feel and who we think we are? That automatic it should happen to us. Forgetting the principles of God. Forgetting the standards of God. Because no matter who we are, the principles still apply. And if you don't make the changes and become, you still won't receive. People will come and go, and it still won't be right. And we'll be from friendship to friendship, and things still won't line up. Because the problem is not in the other parties or the individuals, but the problem is in us. And we refuse to take time to acknowledge that we are the problem. We constantly keep putting the blame on others when the problem is us. Just out here reflecting in my little time with God, I'm being honest with Him, being open with Him. And I just reflect and I was like, God, certain things for me, I put myself through it. Man didn't do it to me. I did it to myself because I did not make the changes that I needed to make. I did not adjust when I needed to adjust. You have to be honest with yourself. Because God always gives us warnings. He always gives us warnings. He always let us know, even if it's months ahead and we don't pay attention and then it roll upon us and we try to figure out where it come from. But if we be honest with ourselves and really begin to really sit down and meditate on the goodness of God, meditate on God completely, and think about how some of these things entered our lives and how some persons enter our lives and why we're in the situations that we're in. And as you're meditating with God, God will take you back down memory lane and allow you to remember when He gave you instructions months ahead of time and what you did supposed to have done, but you did not. What He told you to do, but you didn't do it. And as simple as that instruction it seems like it didn't have much value to it or didn't mean that much. So you didn't pay attention to carry it out. But it had a huge ripple effect in your life. And I want to say this to you. Those simple instructions carries the most weight. We tend to try to do the big things because it's going to be seen. But guess what? It isn't all about the big things because those simple things carry heavy weight. And it causes a lot of tension and stress in our lives when we do not carry it out. So as you meditate, you would see that, guess what? It wasn't even the enemy. You were your enemy because you did not move when God said to move. Excuse me, you didn't do what God told you to do. Excuse me. As simple as the instruction might have been, you did not obey. And that's why certain things played out. But God is still merciful and He's still loving, He's still caring. He still gives us chances after chances. Excuse me. He keep giving us chances after chances, chances after chances. And it's up to us if we listen when He speaks. But when we don't listen and make the changes that is needed within us, that's when we find ourselves that the things that we really desire is not being attracted to our lives because we're not following the instructions of God. We're not making the changes that we need to make. We're not preparing ourselves so that what needs to enter our lives would have the access to enter our lives. Just thinking about how God maneuvers and how He works and how things play out and how He don't change it. I'm just like, wow, because I reflect on my life. And sometimes with me reflecting on my life caused me to realize that I allowed people to talk me out of stuff. I allow persons to give me their opinion, and I went with their opinion more rather than going with what God said. And because I did that, I paid the price. Many persons can attest to that God gave them instructions and they probably even started to carry it out, But then, they discussed it with other persons. I don't know why we do that, but we tend to do that. Discuss it with other persons and they give us their advice and we go with their advice rather than going with what God said. And at the end of the day, when it all plays out, we realize that guess what? You should have listened to God. But the crazy thing about it is this. We just do it more than once. And what's so sad about it is our life is paying. You're paying for it, not the individual that has given you the advice. Because God gave you the instructions. And the instructions is for you, not for whoever it is that you discuss it with. But we do go and discuss things with people. And guess what? When we discuss it and they give us their opinion and we go and we do what it is that they say, we pay the price. Because that's when they give you instruction and it's not what God says. We pay the price. And then the thing about it is this. Your life goes in that direction. And when your life go in that direction, you now have to go through whatever comes with it because you didn't listen and you didn't carry out the instructions of God. But the thing about it is this, even though we do all of that and all of that plays out, God is still merciful, that God still gives us second chances. His love is still... His love is just unexplainable. His love is, when I say unexplainable, you have to experience it to be able to understand it. Because to put it in words sometimes is just hard to be able to put the love that you feel, the love that you experience from Him in words. It's hard. But I want to say this, for whatever it is that you desire in your life, begin to prepare yourself to receive it. First mentally, then emotionally, spiritually, financially, all the ways. Begin to prepare yourself to receive it so that you will be able to receive it. Because some things will not enter our lives until we do the necessary preparation that is needed. It will not enter our lives. No matter how much we feel we're ready for it, we can be ready for it mentally, but it will not enter, not until you do the preparation. Because what I'm learning concerning with preparation is this. Preparation gives the access for that thing to enter your life. You can say you want it and you're ready for it, but if you didn't prepare, you didn't open the door for it to come in. And you could say out your mouth that you're opening the door for it to come in, but no, it's certain things that you have to do that activates the door in the spirit realm so that it would be drawn to you and it would enter your life. If you don't do those particular things to activate that door, to activate in the thing in the spirit realm, the door won't be open for that thing to be able to enter your life. Whatever it is that you're waiting on, whether it's a person, money, health, whatever it is some preparation, is some necessary steps you have to do. You have to go through those steps. You have to go through that process. And when you go through that process, it releases something in the realm of the spirit that would open the door and would draw that thing to you, and now that thing would be able to come into your life. I pray that you understand what I'm saying today, and what I'm doing my best to try to break it down. God, give me the words. It would never happen. Preparation is key. Preparation is key. And when God gives us these instructions, He's preparing us for what it is for what is supposed to enter our life. He's preparing us. And we have to. It's a must that we learn to listen to the leading of the Holy Spirit and carry out what it is that God is saying unto you. Stop trying to understand, because you will never ever understand everything, because God don't explain everything. And because God don't explain everything, you don't have the capacity or the capability to be able to understand everything. But what God is calling us for is to walk by faith. And I understanding that so much more now. Walk by faith. Believe what He says. Trust what He says. Just carry it out. Just be obedient and do what it is that God is saying unto you today. And as you do that and prepare yourself, everything that needs to walk in your life will walk in your life effortlessly. But the thing about it is this: what keeps it out is because what we're allowing to stay in our lives is guarding the door from what is supposed to come in. What we keep in our life is guarding the door from what is supposed to come in, so it's blocking what's supposed to come in from coming in. It is literally blocking it. It's blocking it. But when we do what it is that God says, whatever the instructions is, just do it, as Mary said. As Mary told them concerning with Jesus in Canaan, when the wine ran out. He said, whatever He said to do, just do it. If we take that attitude, multiple things will begin to fall in our lap. All those blessings that are there in the storehouse that are waiting on us will begin to manifest within our lives. Just think about the love of God. Even though we keep messing up, God is still so loving that He keep giving us chances. And we have to be so careful of our chances, because one of these times when we decide to do things our way and not do it God's way, that's the very time, that could be your very last time. That could be your last time. Your last opportunity for the particular thing. Because some things with God is on a timer. Some things is on a timer. So some things you can be the cost or the reason. You can be the problem yourself that stops you from receiving exactly what it is that you're supposed to receive. I'm just sitting here and just thinking. how God is so loving. And in His love, let's not take His love and His mercies for granted. Let's not take it for granted. But let's learn to walk in obedience to what it is that God says to us. Prepare yourself so that what is to come into your life can come into your life. If I would name this, I'll say clear the door. Clear the door. Everything that is guarding the door and stopping what's supposed to come in from coming in, clear the door. Clear the door. Get rid of all of the opinions and the advices and the emotions and the overthinking. The familiar spirits. Get rid of all of it. Familiar spirits, the family. That's another topic. Get rid of it so that the door can be open and what God has for you can now come in. I just was sitting here and I just came on to just bring that encouragement to you today. Y'all be encouraged. If you're not following me, hit the follow, hit the like, hit the subscribe button. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Bigo Live, Pinterest, Snapchat. Go ahead, hit one of those buttons. And today, hit the share button, hit the like button, hit the comment button. And tell me what you think. Let me hear how you feel, how you see it, what you've experienced, what you're going through. Let's chat. Let us chat. Let's chat about it. Remember, choose, because the decisions you make, that's the direction that your life will take. So when making decisions, and I can never stop saying this, pray before you make it and obey whatever it is that God says. Walk in obedience, total obedience to what God says. One more thing I want to say. Don't get the opinion of others from others when God already gave you instructions. When God give you instructions, take the instructions that God give you and carry it out. Do not look nor ask for the opinion of others. Walk in obedience to God. Okay? Y'all be blessed. Happy Sunday. As you prepare for this week, take time out and talk to God. Ask God for instructions for this week. Make sure ask God for instructions for this week. Y'all be blessed. Beautiful view. Prepare yourself so that it can into your life. Bye-bye.